Classification of stitches. Neatening raw edges and decorative stitches.
This coffee tastes so nice.
Glad to know you are enjoying it.
To tell you the truth, I was almost dozing off back there.
I thought so too. Anyway, I too needed the break.
You said something about stitches used to neaten edges?
Yep.
What did you mean?
These are the stitches used to strengthen the edges of the fabrics. If let loose, the fabric may start falling off from the hem.
I see. Then it means I will need this when making my shirts. Otherwise, they will not be durable.
Exactly. Are you planning to put some buttons on the shirts?
I don't know yet, but why?
Because in that case, you will need the knowledge of the buttonhole stitch.
And I guess they are used to neaten the edges of the buttonhole?
Traditionally, yes. But how did you know?
Oh, I figured out that the name of the stitch is derived from its function.
Brilliant. They are also used to prevent the raveling of woven fabric. And lastly, they are best done with a thicker thread.
I can't wait to learn them practically from you.
I will be glad to show you. We also have the blanket stitch.
You are kidding, right?
No, seriously, there is a blanket stitch.
Okay, I am listening.
Blanket stitch is used to neaten the edge of very thick material, e.g. blankets, bed covers, table covers, and so on.
Oh, I see. Come to think of it, I have seen this stitch in my blanket. I just didn't know how it is done.
Now you know. Next we have the loop stitch. This one gets its name from the long loops it leaves behind. It is a method of sewing in which each stitch incorporates a few loops of thread to give a thick pile. More coffee?
Yes, please.
There you are. We also have the overcasting stitch. It involves small diagonal stitches, evenly spaced, which covers the entire edge of the fabric to ensure the edges do not fall off.
Nice. Are you done?
One more stitch in this category, the overlocking stitch.
It sounds so much like the overcasting we have just discussed. Are they related?
Nope. This one wraps the thread around the edges and is best used for fine fabrics like silk and heavy ones like wool. But of course, they serve the same purpose of neatening the edges.
I see.
Enough of neatening stitches. Let us quickly go through the decorative stitches before the coffee goes stale.
Okay. At least I know what these ones are used for.
Tell me.
Well, they make the garments beautiful and appealing to the eye.
Very true. For that matter, they are done with a thread of a different color from the fabric to make them stand out. Not to forget, they are worked on the right side of the fabric. The chain stitch is the first in this category.
And I suppose the finished work looks exactly like a chain, hence the name.
Yes, it does. You are really making my work easier. The satin stitch...
We discussed satin fabric before. Does it mean that this stitch is specifically for satin?
No, it has nothing to do with the name. Here, you draw a pattern that you'd wish to have on the fabric. Then you use a series of stitches to completely cover the pattern. The final work should resemble the initial drawing. But don't worry, I will show you everything, okay?
Okay, you are the boss.
Next we have the stem stitch.
Let me guess.
Jim, could you please minimize the guesswork?
Okay, sorry.
The stem stitch is almost similar to the back stitch, but each stitch overlaps the former to one side, forming a twisted line of stitching with the thread passing below the needle. It can be used to make patterns of leaves and stems.
That would definitely look nice on my shirts.
Of course it will. But let me give you a variety to choose from. Have you ever heard of the French knot?
Nope.
This is the most difficult embroidery to make, yet the most lovely. It is used to make a variety of patterns according to one's taste.
Wow, I'd definitely love to make that.
No worries, I'll show you. Let us rush through the other two first. Shell edging is a type of embroidery that gives a pattern similar to a seashell. It is used to embroider edges of the garment. And lastly...
Great! I was wondering whether it was going to end.
Okay, you can rush home after this. The pin stitch is an embroidery worked with a thick needle and a fine thread, creating a decorative open work.
I won't even tell you to explain. I am exhausted already.
Next time you're here, we will go over the important points to note about stitches. Then we will be good to start the practicals.
Great. Nice day, Miss Lupita.
Same to you, Jim.
Bye.